I would like to invite up to the stage Emrys Smith.
It's an interesting night we're having tonight. First of all, I want to say something Ari last month, which is that I was wrong about Harry Potter. And also I'm going to give out a shout out to my friend Jonathan Lechek for, we'll call it inspiring me. There once was a boy, a very young boy, who wanted nothing more in his life than to conduct the trains. And it was his deepest dream. He was inspired by a young age by Thomas the Tank Engine. And he had the stripy hat, with the brim and the pillbox shape. He would run around the house screaming, choo, 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 and his parents, they were so fed up with it. And so they would, they would slap him around and, it's not funny. Child abuse is no laughing matter. So, he would run around and, he kept his dreams to conduct the trains to himself for a long time. All the way through high school, really, people would ask him, where do you want to be when you grow up? And he'd say, not a train conductor. So he got all the way through high school, his girlfriend didn't like him much, but they went to the prom together, and it was sort of an unhappy relationship, and, because he always seemed somewhere else, he always wanted something more that she couldn't provide for him. And there was just nothing, nothing that he wanted apart from conducting the trains, and so eventually they broke up. She went off to college at Bryn Mawr, and he moved to, Pennsylvania, train country, as we all know. Trains are funny, that's okay, you can laugh at that one. All right. And so he moved to, Pittsburgh, where he felt the trains met. He wanted to live in Pittsburgh, nice blue collar town. Fit in there well, quiet guy, people liked him. He did everything he could to get a job working with trains. He would sweep up the soot, take it to restaurants. So he was a janitor at the train station in Pittsburgh, and just making a wage, living on the south side, getting drunk for $7. Pittsburgh, we love it. And he never got the chance to actually conduct the trains, though, because they call them engineers some places, and you actually need a degree. You need to know what you're doing. Although that guy was texting and wrecked a train, just terrible tragedy. Nothing remotely funny at all about that. So our friend, the train conductor, he was just waiting for his golden opportunity, And one day it finally came. He was sweeping up, and the train was running late. The Transcontinental Express wasn't going to make it out of the station on time because the actual train conductor was piss drunk, passed out, in a gutter. And so they were like, well, what are we going to do? We got to get somebody to conduct the train. And he was like, I'll do it. It was the day he was waiting for practice and everything. I'll do it. I will conduct the trains. And they're like, who are you? Do you work here? Anyway, it was weird, but he did it. They let him conduct the trains. And, not everybody in their life can be that lucky, so he really appreciated it, He got into it with a fervor. He was conducting trains like nobody had ever done it before. In fact, on his first day conducting the trains, he actually killed a man. That's not funny. tragedy. Give me a break here, guys. That is a really annoying sound. Okay, so yeah, he killed a man with the doors of a train, actually. It was an old man. He was hobbling around, you know, with his cane and everything. And he just pulled the lever or whatever to make the train shut, and went, cut the guy's leg right off. He was bleeding out. He was screaming. His colostomy bag like flew over him, just spraying fecal matter. This dude lost his leg, guys. All right. So, I mean, he like ran back to the car to see what was going on because everyone was screaming. There were people screaming. There were like children vomiting right in the aisle. All right. Dead guy, blood everywhere, fecal matter in children's eyes, and they're vomiting. And like mothers are screaming, and they're like, "Get this guy off the train! Like we gotta get him to a hospital." And he just like died, and he was like begging for Matilda. Nobody knew of Matilda. And it was, you guys really like listening to yourselves? Anyway, they fired him. They wouldn't let him conduct any more trains. It was kind of a bad idea to begin with. The engineer who was drunk, he lost his job too, so they moved in together. It was like an odd couple kind of relationship. Because like basically the one guy was responsible for losing both of their jobs. So it led to a lot of tensions over breakfast cereal and, you know, paying the bills and whatnot. Because that train conductor liked pornography a lot for some reason. Like really weird stuff too. Anyway, it's not related to the train story, it's just an interesting fact about their relationship. Because you'd walk in all the time and just find him like pants down. Well, that one, you're not laughing at that one, huh? All right, weird crowd tonight. So the guy, he eventually, you know, he gets his record cleaned up. And he goes back to the train yards to work again. You know, this time he goes to college, works his way up, trying to get back into conducting the train. It's all he ever wanted to do. So he gets in, he pays for college, working his ass off, you know, his masturbating roommate, not holding him back, giving him a lot of advice on train conducting, actually. And so the guy eventually graduates, you know, and he gets his first real job, proves himself, you know, works hard every day under the train conducting journeymen who give him his apprenticeship. And he's responsible for his first real train. It's legit this time. He's a real train conductor, licensed and everything. He's so proud. He gets out there on his first day on the job, and he kills another person. Sick. It's the Doors again. A little girl, actually, she dropped her dolly and went down in the cracks. You know, and this time he shut the doors with her outside. While she was reaching down, he started the train, and she had the doll, and the doll was under the wheel, and it just dragged her onto the tracks, like right under the wheel. The train like plowed her over, just disemboweling her from head to toe, in like an arcing spray that sort of glistened in the sunlight. There was a rainbow. One person actually got religion. And this little girl died on the train tracks. You guys. He lost his job again. They fired him. There were all kinds of procedures. And he went to court. He did go to court, and they tried him in front of a jury of his peers, all train conductors, including his roommate, who masturbated the entire time. It was televised. Probably one of the weirdest trials of the century. Oprah got involved. He got a book deal on train conducting, actually, which he wrote. Ghostwritten by his roommate. And it got published, made the top 10 bestseller list while he was in prison, awaiting his trial. And so he's on death row. They sentence him to death by electrocution. And he's just distraught. His mother stops by, tells him that she knew he'd never amount to anything. And that doesn't help any matters. He orders McDonald's for his last meal for no particular reason. He just couldn't think of anything else at the time. He was like, I want a McFlurry and 14 hash brown patties. They're just delicious, that's all. He got it to him. He got diarrhea from it. Which, plays hell with your electrocution in your chair. Had all kinds of problems with that. I love Jeff's face right now. I love Jeff's face in general, but that particular expression was just a thing of beauty. So he's in the electric chair, and he's awaiting execution, and they just run into trouble with the generators. I must be really touching your heart today, Jeff. And they're running into trouble with the generators, and they can't get him dead. It's a real problem. Are you laughing at this man's impending demise? He's crying the whole time because he's trapped in the electric chair. They have the witnesses there. They end up ordering pizza for the witnesses because it takes so long trying to get this guy, murdered painfully, deliberately by another man. Again, this time his roommate as the executioner. He also went to college, graduated in executionology, master's degree. I go into all kinds of stories about the people he murdered, but that's a whole different story. So it's the day, it's taking forever. They're trying to get the generator working. They have engineers in there. The guy's like, well, it's a little ironic that engineers for machinery is the same as engineers for trains. They're like, yeah, trains are machines. And so he's there in the electric chair. They finally get the generator working. Oprah's in there eating some pizza, and they're like, you want to do some? They have some experimental chemicals for executing people. They call the governor, see if he's eligible for that. He's not. It's electric chair for him. They get him in there. They get the generator working. They get the little hat on him with the sponge, from the Green Mile. Get him all strapped in. Throw the switch. Nothing happens. Oprah's pissed. She was there for blood. The engineers are pissed too. They don't know what's wrong. Flip the switch back up, they check all the thingamabobs and the little whirligigs, and then they flip the switch again. Nothing happens. This is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. I was like, I don't know, I don't know what's wrong with them. Try it again. Third time, no luck. Finally, the executioner's like, man, this guy's a really shitty conductor.
Absolutely worth it.